Good morning. It's actually morning. I wanted to share something that's been so instrumental in my health and healing journey. So, for those of you that don't know, I was diagnosed with high levels of inflammation back in 2017, and I was placed on prednisone and then continued to measure high. So then I was placed on Plaquenil and methotrexate as a result of them testing for sarcoidosis, for lupus, for a plethora of other things, and I ended up testing positive for rheumatoid factor in my blood. And so I got on these medications to control the inflammation because I was so stiff in the morning. I was having trouble just with the heels of my feet touching the floor in the morning, or my back feeling extremely stiff, or I climbed stairs like I was very almost non-ambulatory. It was a very scary time. This is someone that is an ex-athlete who refereed college basketball for 16 years and was a very active child and high schooler and college student and 20-something-year-old and 30-something-year-old. And I was like, what is going on? My parents, were like, you can't be on these medications for this long, or at all. Like, you're only, I think at the time I was maybe 32 or 33, and they're like, what are you gonna do? And we've got to do something different. We've got to attack this from, a holistic standpoint. So I found Dr. Lisa when I was living in Chicago. She is a herbalist, a Chinese herbalist, and she worked for Northwestern University for a long time until she got, moved out because Eastern medicine so deeply conflicts with Western medicine. I want you to know that if you have found yourself on prednisone, methotrexate, Plaquenil, which is hydrochloroquine. I was on hydrochloroquine before COVID was a thing. If you have found yourself on any kind of medications that are, so aggressive and toxic, you can get off of them. You just have to make a commitment. And a lot of time that's about cleaning up our gut and our diet. So I was feeling lately I was having sugar cravings. I noticed I had an ice cream and a donut in the same day. Then I wanted some candy. I was trying to counter it by eating a very, sour or savory salad. And when I catch my palate getting like that, then I'm like, something needs to be corrected. Like, I'm too toxic. I noticed I'd had a glass of wine and it was like very, very, it gave me a headache. Sometimes I'm allergic to tannin, honestly, but a lot of times I'm just, I can sense that something in my body is off. And so Dr. Lisa has created these herbal mixtures. And I go to her when I am in Chicago and I get a consult, and it is worth my time. She checks my tongue, she checks my, she asks about my cycle, she looks at my skin, she listens to my voice. She, listens to my heart, my lungs. But anyway, this is a 5-flower plus. It is a liver cleanse, a blood cleanse, and it reduces inflammation. And so I am going to take this and boil this. As you can see, I'm gonna give a real close up. You can see all of the herbs in here. This is amazing. A lot of them I can't even, pronounce. Let's see, let me try. I can pronounce Floss chrysanthemi, Sephora japonica, Plumeria, Rubra, Rhizoma impertate, Radix purate, Gypsum, Radix glyceriza. It's, oh my goodness. They're so hard to pronounce. But basically, I'm going to take 5 cups of distilled water. You can do spring water, distilled water. It's best not to use tap water because tap water, you're going to end up boiling out all the salts and everything. And we want to have the salts and stuff removed. So that's why distilled or spring is best. So I've got my water right here. I'm going to pour it in. And then we're doing 5 cups, so that was 4 cups. So 1 more cup, and then we're going to boil it. I'm gonna turn this down, turn it on first. So I'm going to take the herbs out of here. And for those of you that don't like all of the cleanup, you could always put these herbs in like a little cheesecloth or something like that. Make like a giant tea bag, if you will, or if you, I don't know, maybe use a double boiler. Y'all, this smells bananas. It smells crazy. And it looks like something that you scraped up off the forest floor. It really does. Like, look at these little things and these little pieces of, looks like bark almost, but it is very helpful. I believe in this. I became a vegan and vegetarian for 6 months, and I used Dr. Lisa's teas every week. I would steep them for a long time because you have to boil them for like 45 minutes. And they would make the house smell crazy, but they do work. So I'm excited to use this liver blood cleanse and reduce my inflammation. I feel like this will correct the palate issues I'm having, take those sugar cravings away. I will continue to do the regular things that I do. Like I'll probably really beef up my greens this week to counter all of this sugar craving thing. That is an indication of toxicity. Also, it could be an indication of a candida imbalance in your gut as well. So I'm gonna pour this in. And oh my goodness, look at this stuff. Yeah, and then she's got like some kind of herbal, like super charged something in there too. So I'm gonna pour that in. If you look down, wow, it just looks just interesting. So let's see. We're gonna go ahead and put this in here, and then we're just going to wait for it to boil. It has to reduce to a cup, I believe. It's going to boil for 45 minutes until water reduces to a cup, which is only 8 ounces. So we're starting with 5 cups, and then we're going to reduce to 1 cup. This is going to be amazing. But anyway, we wait. So the smell is already coming up, and yeah, it smells weird. It smells like something you've never smelled before. That's what I can say. Or maybe you can relate it to something, but yeah, once it starts boiling, then I'm going to reduce it now because it just started boiling, and I'm going to reduce it to medium. And then we're going to let it continue to do that for 45 minutes. So it's reducing, looking very interesting. We're pretty close to the end now. And yeah, these herbs will be able to be used a second time. So that's what's great also. I'll just set them aside, dry them out, or put them in the fridge, and they can be used a second time. Okay, I'm back. So here it is. It's gonna be really strong. Yeah. So I'm going to pour this into a cup. I'm just gonna put it in here. I think I'm gonna be able, yeah. We've got a little more than, a little more than a cup. I'll strain the rest. Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna drink all of this. Like I said, it doesn't smell good. I remember when I first started drinking this, I would have to plug my nose and just, bottoms up. So anyway, this is it. I'll be on this in a few minutes when it cools off. And yeah, then I'll be headed to yoga class and biking. So wish me well. taking these teas along with really cleaning up my diet. I have been off of all of those toxic drugs I mentioned, prednisone, methotrexate, Plaquenil, or hydrochloroquine, for since the beginning of 2019. I said no more. I'd been on them a total of about a year and a half, trying to solve problems, chasing issues in the dark, because I went to a total of 10 doctors and they couldn't figure out the inflammation issues. Then I consulted my Chinese herbalist, and I also consulted Dr. Bobby Price, who is Dr. Holistic on Instagram, and I got off of them. So you can do it, y'all. You don't have to be on these medications for the rest of your life. You can make changes. You can commit to it. A lot of people don't want to because they don't want to feel uncomfortable by eating new foods or taking foods that they love out of their diet. I had to take those foods out of my diet and then add certain foods back in and eat them in moderation, y'all. You can still eat a lot of the foods you love, but if you can go as close to vegetarian or as plant-based as possible, you will eliminate a lot of your issues. That's all I got. Be blessed, y'all.